We're delighted to welcome you all to the Therapeutic and Holistic Psychology Workshop.
Yes, we sure are, and we're also excited to get to know more about each of you, including your personal and your professional goals. So we'll be getting into more about you throughout this workshop as well.
Yeah, so in the workshop today, we are introducing our 7-step Panacea system. This therapeutic workshop is designed to make a bigger impact in both your life and for those around you, both personally and professionally, to prepare you for the certification. So again, feel free to include those comments or questions. Otherwise, again, we will have that Q&A that you can look forward to at the end of the workshop, all right?
And also, as we've mentioned, each of you will be receiving a free copy of the Genetic Recoding book. This is the audio and written introduction to the practitioner diploma courses, as well as the holistic psychology workshops as a course prerequisite. And it will guide you to reprogram your subconscious mind, recode epigenetic patterns, including self-sabotaging behaviors and limiting beliefs, using advanced recoding techniques and holistic therapy practices. So it will be very beneficial for you throughout this workshop.
And one advantage that sets our program apart is that this workshop is designed to help you as a practitioner to address your personal healing first, and to both help you master your challenges and further enable you to help your clients also in a greater capacity, so that you can also begin to scale your income as a more qualified professional, with the option to open a lucrative turnkey practice, should that be also what you desire. And this is a 7-step Panacea acronym. And in today's workshop, we will be covering step 1, addressing the presenting problem by decoding subconscious programming, in addition to genetically transferred beliefs and programming. So we will be transmuting this throughout the entire 8-week workshop. We will be using unique reframing techniques, various meditation methods, and other powerful healing disciplines and more throughout the entire certification workshop that is also included in your practitioner program to use with your clients however you'd like.
And you'll be learning and becoming trained in a variety of holistic psychotherapies, including body psychotherapy, perceptual reframing, holistic psychology, cognitive behavioral therapy, and mindfulness-based cognitive behavioral therapy, meditation practices, generational healing, child and family trauma therapy, inner child healing and shadow work, and so forth, and so much more. So it's all compressed within a genetic recoding system. So we have a lot to look forward to. And, some of these things you may already be well versed in and practice, and we'll just take that practice to the next level.
We're here to help you with your individual goals using proven strategies. So for being a part of this workshop today, we will provide you with a link where you can book a free consultation anytime, so we can discuss a step-by-step plan to achieve the goals that you're here to accomplish. I'll go ahead and add this link in the chat bar for all of you.
If you have any additional questions that we don't cover today, please go ahead and book a complimentary consultation, and we'll be happy to go over any of those questions with you. And for those of you who don't know us, we'll share a brief introduction just to get quickly acquainted. We're Corinne and Camille Sullivan, the founders of Liberated Living. We're business entrepreneurs, authors, and holistic practitioners. We have a broad background, clinical and educational background in psychology and holistic medicine, and have worked as health professionals, counselors, and therapists throughout our career. So we are now accredited instructors, where we train and certify professionals in internationally accredited holistic diploma programs, as well as offer advanced epigenetic and holistic psychology courses that include a turnkey business model.
And in summary, after 22 years and more of clinical work and utilizing advanced healing modalities as well as the latest cutting edge technology, We discovered that the common denominator behind each of our clients' chief problems, and ours included, was epigenetic and genetically predisposed conditions. So it went beyond advanced healing technology as well as diet, health supplements, and exercise, because it was 80% of our psychology and the inherent programming that dictated our outcomes. So we devised this genetic recoding program to first learn how to master our own medicine and address our healing on a genetic level. And then we implemented it into our practice with our clients, which helped them to more rapidly transform their conditions so they could achieve the results they desired, and made these solutions available with a proven 7-step panacea system, and began increasing our reach globally. In short, that's how this genetic recoding program was first developed. And the genetic recoding techniques are not available anywhere else to reprogram inherent subconscious beliefs, i.e. epigenetic programming, and to utilize this powerful system for your own personal or professional practice.
So in this workshop, we're going to be covering how to earn a diploma in holistic psychology and use this system to double your income as a turnkey coach or therapy professional, how to facilitate workshops, whether remote, in person, or online, using an advanced and done-for-you therapy system, how to develop strategies to decode subconscious blocks and recode default epigenetic programming to overcome inherent challenges, how to fulfill your purpose and unlock your potential, and discover how to activate the correct gene expression to align to your best self, learn how to recondition your mind for success using the correct psychology and upgrading your neurocircuitry. You'll be able to genetically recode subconscious beliefs, which is the free ebook you'll be receiving for your personal use and benefit. That's available as an ebook and audiobook, as well as a downloadable PDF. You'll receive guidance toward mental and emotional freedom. You can be awarded a fully accredited diploma as a certified practitioner in this 7-week holistic psychology workshop, and receive an already done for you practitioner manual with powerful workbook exercises and therapeutic strategies for both personal use or to use with a turnkey business in a box for those advancing their coaching therapy practice. All right, you can also receive professional training and one-on-one sessions throughout your certification process, so you can master your own medicine to become the expert in your field and make a greater impact and receive a higher income reach, as well as heal relational dynamics by breaking epigenetic and generational patterns, and much more.
So please note that we will be asking psychotherapy questions that's contained within the Therapeutic Panacea workshop that you can follow along with in your practitioner workbook if you'd like. These questions and exercises are designed to help you to be introspective and very honest with yourself to gain a better sense of emotional self-awareness. So if you're unable to answer any of these questions or complete any of these exercises, or if you're struggling to connect with your emotions, it may be due to any kind of past traumas, because it is a protection mechanism, which is very common. So it can prevent us from going deeper with our emotions. However, we're here to help. So no matter what level you are at, and to gain the most benefit, you can complete each steps to the best of your ability, and you can revisit any missed sections when you are ready, or if you need to receive the one-on-one support. But we want to guide you to decode the core blind spots to overcome any of the programming with these key psychotherapy questions and exercises. Each step is designed to help transmute the obstacle and recode the epigenetic and including the subconscious programming that is causing any sabotage cycles in your life. We will be learning holistic techniques within this program and throughout the next 7 weeks that you will be applying toward yourself before your clients. We're going to start with step 1 to help you identify these blind spots and subconscious blocks. So for example, we all know that once we can identify a problem, we will also know how to properly begin to address it or put together an outline or game plan. So awareness of the pattern is the first step, and asking key questions allow us to guide us to our own answers, to process, examine, meditate, and then also shake the brain loose to gain new solutions. So now let's get more acquainted with you using psychotherapy questions throughout this workshop.
Okay, so the first acronym of this panacea is P, and it stands for presenting problem and is related to either a problem or pattern or a person or perceived void. So perceived void is also just known as an unmet need or another life challenge and is very likely associated with an inherited belief. Perceived voids from childhood may create ongoing patterns from subconscious programs, perceiving our needs as having been unmet in youth. So for instance, those of you, any of you who may have experienced fear of abandonment, likely suffered abandonment or neglect patterns in their youth as recurring circumstances in adult life. So we'll kind of take a look at some of these type of patterns in our workshop today.
And we all realize that a large number of our beliefs are a result of our psychological conditioning. But what we don't often realize is that many of these beliefs are in fact generational and go deeper into our genetic programming. So once we can become more aware of the unconscious programming, we can begin to uproot them and embrace better iterations of ourselves. So we're going to start with some warm-up questions to get to know more about you in this workshop with therapeutic exercises. So are you currently doing what you love for a living, or do you feel like you presently are fulfilling your purpose? And again, you're welcome to type what you do for a living or your job title in the chat bar. I imagine most of you are probably already going to be within this field, life coaches and therapy. Perfect. And are you practicing, as if you're not practicing as a coach or therapist, then have you ever been in counseling, therapy, or worked with a coach or therapist before?
And this kind of helps us to get to know a little bit more about you and what level you're on. Most people we work with tend to be pretty advanced, which is really good. Okay, yes. So yes, you've worked with therapy. Okay, great.
Okay, wonderful. So what are your professional interests and goals? And is it something different than what you're currently doing? Wonderful. Holistic counselor, doing what you love. That's wonderful. Just exploring, wanting to learn more. Perfect. Well, you might be in the right place. At least that's the hope, that this is going to resonate with everyone. Okay, you love doing what you do. Wonderful. Great.
Okay, so what do you need to achieve any of your professional goals? And you can continue using the chat box to answer any of these questions. So more clientele, more credentials, more qualifications, more income, of course, more flexibility, more training and experience, the ability to work online or remotely, a turnkey practice, a done-for-you content and programs, right? We know many of us if we're entrepreneurs, we know how long it takes to put programs and business together, a proven system that will help us to succeed, a complete holistic curriculum, or just adding some holistic practices to your business, or other. And if so, if there's something else, please go ahead and specify. Most people answer all of the above to this question, so you're welcome to add all of the above too, if you'd like.
Consolidate those answers. I'm sure more income is going to be on the top of everyone's list, right? Might even like to say just a system to help with all of this.
And today it looks like we have a lot of people who already love what they're doing. They're just going a little further, right? All of the above. Okay.
All the above.
Okay. So what do you primarily want to get out of this program? And what is your chief goal, if it is anything other than what we just covered? we're here to help, and we all want to help each other achieve these goals, and we're delighted to be a part of your journey today.
I'd love to train more professionals.
Get more people certified in holistic practices, right? So it's because, as we help to popularize it throughout the world globally.
And make a positive impact. All right, anyone else?
Okay, we'll go ahead and move on.
So are there any obstacles holding you back from achieving this goal, such as limiting beliefs, generational programming, conflicts in a relationship, finances, which could also cause conflicts in a relationship, a busy schedule, which is very common, or anything else? Again, feel free to specify. And if you'd like, you can sum it up to your top 1 or 2 of the biggest challenges that you are facing and wanting help with today or throughout this workshop. If you have more than one issue that you would like to address, we do use specific questions to narrow it down to the core programming that is triggering I am not good enough syndrome. This is most likely going to correlate or be related to any additional issues or symptoms that you may be experiencing. Yep, finances. This is going to be probably the most common, so you are likely in the right place.
Yes, relationships and finances are what we tend to get the most of.
The most common, right? So are there any obstacles holding you back from achieving this goal? And what is the cost of these limiting beliefs? For instance, what dreams are you sacrificing? Finances and relationships, which may even be, again, intertangled, right? Interrelated. What about your happiness? An ideal life. Oftentimes we see others that it impacts their health, mental or physical health. So these burdens or challenges can feel like limitations and struggle that can also cause anxiety, depression, stress, and other mental health issues. So just take a look at the unfortunate sacrifice that you feel that you're making that you would like to change today. What about your passions and hobbies? Oftentimes folks want to travel or be able to fulfill more of their passions, just to name a few.
Yeah, more of a work-life balance, or just more balance and joy in our life, right? More income, healthier relationships.
So do you engage in any of these self-sabotaging behaviors due to the beliefs or any past feelings of unworthiness or feeling inadequate that's hindering your ability to achieve your goals? And are there any unresolved emotions, ego-based fears, including jealousy or in competition, or conflicting beliefs that are impeding your progress? And do you feel like you have to work harder than others to achieve success, or that you are different and limited because whatever excuse or story you may feel you or have about yourself or holding about yourself? Or does it feel like unfortunate circumstances only happen to you? These are very common beliefs. And it's likely you can relate to a number of these experiences and thought patterns, despite your previous efforts to overcome them. But do you still find yourself producing some of the same results and struggling to get where you want to be? Maybe finding those recurring patterns. Because we're here to uncover how these beliefs were formed in the first place and learn what we can do to change them. So did you know that our experiences and environment can affect the way our genes are expressed? In fact, a majority of our psychological distress was transferred in our DNA through RNA strands. This field of science is called epigenetics or epigenomics, which many of you may already be aware of. But the epigenetics research explores how environmental factors can influence our behaviors and even change the way our genes are turned on or off. That means that our thoughts and programming can play a massive role in activating this gene switch. So for instance, if addiction runs in our family, we may be more likely to turn to it as a way of coping with our problems because of these predisposed conditions and the genetic DNA propensities.
Dr. Candace Pert observed in the late 1980s that our beliefs and subconscious programming are influenced by the primitive beliefs and memories of our ancestors that shaped their life experiences and its transference onto later generations, which is each of us. More recent scientific research in epigenetics has provided us with a valid explanation describing how traumatic experiences can produce epigenetic changes that are transmuted to future generations, as demonstrated in various studies, and which we've displayed on the screen there for you. This means that we're also subject and predisposed to some of the same inherent limiting beliefs and negative psychological programming of our ancestors due to some of the hardships and struggles that they may have faced. This phenomenon is known as transgenerational epigenetic inheritance, or TEI, and results in dispositions that are passed down through generations, which present in our lives as fears, insecurities, negative thoughts, self-doubt, bad habits, and other undesirable behaviors. So if we want to have more successful results in our life versus prolonging the problem by sabotaging our efforts, then the shortcut is to address our programming on a genetic level.
So have you noticed any problematic traits or even behaviors from your family genetic makeup that you might have inherited, and perhaps that you're wanting to change? It could be anything from anxiety, PTSD, depression, codependency, abuse, or addiction. And oftentimes these can be very traumatic. So do you have the desire to end the cycle of these patterns and rewire your family's history by rewriting it and breaking the chains for the generations to come? Because this program is designed to help you address and recode trauma and generational programming to achieve the next stage of success. We've had many clients come to us with PTSD and generational trauma, like Jay, who suffered a lifetime of hardships. Consequently, he was allowing fear and limited thinking to win, and he had no home of his own, no career or romantic relationship. So he felt inherently flawed and as if he had failed himself. In essence, his limiting beliefs from epigenetics was costing him more than his happiness. He truly felt that he had nothing. After using our system, he significantly transformed his life and made tremendous shifts. Others have repeatedly asked what he has done to rapidly transform his life now. And as an empowered leader in his field, he has renewed confidence, self-love, and healed negative programming. He unlocked dormant potential in his personal life and in his new career with the financial freedom to buy his own home and finally begin to live the ideal life he never believed he was truly deserving of. In addition, he is now involved in a fulfilling relationship that he had long awaited for. So what's not working for you, or what are you wanting to improve perhaps about your business, job, relationship, or life in general? I know many of you already included finances or relationships, but you can also add ultimately what your end goal may be. Obviously, financial freedom, right? Or healthy relationships, perhaps. Feel free to add any of your comments. But because of the way our minds are conditioned, keeping our long-held focus and awareness on our vision and the outcome that we desire can often be battled by internal arguments of what we may not believe is possible or easily attainable. And that's when it may help to list counter arguments to dispute those thoughts. And we will go through some tools and extensive exercises throughout the Panacea workshop to address this.
So what areas has any of this specific presenting problem or challenge impacted? Is it work and finances, social and relationships, kids, family or marriage, home and living situation, or mental and emotional health? Or even perhaps most or all of these areas, right? And what would need to change for your goal to become a reality? What do you have to give up to make room for what you do want? Or what have you already been sacrificing at too great of a cost? Go ahead and feel free to type in your answer if you do know it.
Maybe work and finances or social relationships are probably going to be some common ones, right?
Okay, anyone else?
Yep, work and financial relationships. Yep.
So do you feel like you have a game plan and you could handle this on your own, or would you like group or one-on-one support, or something that's self-paced and at your own time and convenience? Statistics actually indicate that we're likely to improve our outcomes by more than 600% by receiving group or one-on-one support. And I tend to be someone who likes to do things on my own, but a do-it-yourself person. But it's definitely true that when we have that group or one-on-one support, how much more it maximizes our results and keeps us on track, right? Yeah.
Both
Okay,
group
both
and
group
one-on-one.
and one-on-one. Yeah, it depends on situations, right? It's nice to have both options, I think.
Agreed. So in holistic psychology, we also locate trapped emotions or trauma that are stored in our body, including pain or illnesses, as a result of psychosomatic conditions, otherwise known as the mind-body connection, as the mind is not separate from the body. This holistic panacea system addresses the holistic needs of the individual: mental, physical, emotional, spiritual. So we will be covering these various meditations, including other powerful meditations and exercises, such as anchoring a new identity to remove old thought and behavioral patterns, and exciting repatterning techniques that you can look forward to throughout this program. These exercises utilize the heart-mind coherence to improve our reality and recode new self-iterations. So once we can unpack and understand our belief programming, we can then transform it with the 7-step formula.
And yes, I agree. As far as, a lot of us have done a lot of our own inner healing work. And when we are working with someone, sometimes if it's a therapist, sometimes if it's a coach, it just really makes such a more of a transformative difference. We could do a lot of things on our own, but it really is so much more helpful. So I would have to agree that having that support, someone to understand and empathize, can really make a big difference. It's kind of part of the healing process. So are you aware of any of your own subconscious beliefs or generational patterns that you would like to change? That's what we're going to want to help work on throughout this workshop, as we help you to master your own medicine and become certified in the process, right? And then that's something that you can turn around and help your clients with, in addition to whatever other tools and healing processes that you might already offer. And please list up to 2 that have affected important areas of your life that you're focusing on today. If you don't know if it's epigenetic or generational, that's okay. Okay, so some that are kind of rigid. When they're rigid beliefs that we're having a hard time breaking through, those are oftentimes the ones that are generational. There's not a lot of therapy programs out there that address the generational patterns, especially if it's a transmitted trauma.
Okay, so now if you can, note this current problem, if you do know it, which is preventing you from attaining your ideal outcome that you would like to improve. Because we will be recoding this presenting problem throughout the workshop to also help you transform the conditions in your life and create the outcome and the result that you seek. We will guide you to decode emotional blocks and identify if the problem is in fact related to a childhood program, a parent-child interaction pattern, or an epigenetic pattern, with the proper strategies and solutions in the next workshop.
Now consider the patterns of your parent or primary caretakers that you have hoped to avoid repeating, because we know we've all had those, right? We don't want to repeat some of the same mistakes. So ask how have you become a little bit like your parents, right? Do you recognize some of those traits within yourself, especially as you get a little bit older? Some of the traits that you've actually inherited from your parents? Or ask where you're swinging the pendulum the other way and resisting becoming like your parents or caretakers. And we're not here to pick on our parents. However, often our biggest fear is repeating our parents' same mistakes or patterns and becoming like them. So sometimes we tend to swing the pendulum the other way. So do you recognize any habits? Habits are also from our beliefs and behaviors and thinking. They're oftentimes inherited. Anyone think of any ideas? Okay. Fear and anxiety. And they tend to become perpetuated throughout each generation. So it kind of gets our attention, right? To go, okay, we need to address this. And it's not all for you from your lifetime, right?
Yes, and then resisting becoming like our parents, we have to ask, what traits and behaviors those are, or where do we perhaps see some of those traits or behaviors that we also have embodied or adopted, right? Very common.
And we don't ask for testimonials, but we do want to mention that we have a 100% satisfaction rate. And for confidentiality purposes, we didn't provide images or complete names just due to the sensitive nature of the therapy industry. However, we would like to share with you just what a few of our graduates have said about our programs, such as Rachel, who is a busy entrepreneur and certified wellness coach that runs her own business. She had taken many personal development courses throughout her life, and after working with us, she said that what makes this system stand out from the rest is that it helped her heal core epigenetic and childhood programming to improve areas in her life that isn't addressed in other courses. She gained a whole new perspective and amassed knowledge that helped her succeed after previous obstacles and being introduced to liberated living. She stated that it's very eye-opening, and what I loved most is that this program addressed the root cause of childhood and generational conditioning. I can now provide holistic coaching to my clients to achieve better results, and also by addressing their psychology with the knowledge and experience I gained. I can't say it enough, everyone needs this. So remember, doing our own work will also help us to overcome imposter syndrome.
Absolutely.
Now, the next part of this presenting problem is the Cartman drama triangle. We do cover these archetypes in the introduction course, which is the free ebook that each of you will be receiving. But for those that are not familiar, I'm just going to do a brief recap. So the persecutor is the archetype that dominates, blames, tears down, and plays the role of the authoritarian. The victim archetype often feels helpless, powerless, and victimized by a persecutor or an outside circumstance. They believe that things are beyond their control and happening to them, and that their desires or dreams have been lost or denied. Rescuer archetypes are classic enablers that fear not being needed and feels guilty if they don't go to the rescue. So, which archetypal role do you find yourself primarily defaulting to? Is it the victim role, the rescuer role, or is it the persecutor role? We all have a primary type. Or is it all of the above? Now, this is a very popular drama triangle, somewhat known in the psychotherapy industry, that has a lot of credence, the rescuer. And I was going to say that most people who are kind of in the healing industry are going to resonate mostly with the rescuer role. Okay, so although we may be well-intended, we will identify more with the primary role and typically rotate between roles throughout different scenarios in each of our life. So we're not always aware that sometimes we're acting as the persecutor or even sometimes the victim, right? But depending on different scenarios. So the question I want to ask is, who do you most frequently play this role with? Because drama triangles initially start with close relationships such as parents, siblings, other family members, and intimate partners. So if you do know if it's a partner or a sibling or a coworker or spouse, who might you typically play this role with? If you're the rescuer, the victim, or the persecutor, who do you get angry at more frequently? Who do you tend to blame? Who do we judge? These are kind of going to be these key players in our life that we tend to get into this conflict with, this drama triangle. And then, do you know why you engage in these dramas and conflicts? We cover this extensively in the free ebook, which is the introduction course and the course prerequisite. So you're going to learn new empowerment solutions, including the most common issues and circumstances that lead us into these drama triangles, as well as the emotions that provoke you to play this role. So you can overcome relationship entanglements, such as codependency or power struggles, to form healthier and more conscious relationships.
And the mirror technique is high leverage work that lends insight into our own blind spots and sabotage patterns so that we can gain awareness to new solutions. With the mirror technique, you can use this shortcut to identify your patterns. And this is the key and answer to transform your own shortcomings as we utilize this powerful tool. So we'll be implementing this advanced method throughout the therapeutic workshop and training you on the psychological shortcut. But we can get started now by decoding some of these blind spots through some classic examples. So why do we have blind spots? Let's examine some of the common limiting beliefs that lead to our blind spots. Our emotions are triggered by unhealed events that formed limiting beliefs. So here's a list of those common limiting beliefs, and note all or any that apply. I'm not good enough, i.e. smart or educated enough. I don't believe that I deserve it. I'm afraid of trying and failing, or I'm afraid of trying and succeeding. Other people or outside forces hold me back. I need money to make money. I don't have the willpower. I have already tried everything. There's not enough for me. I fear rejection or not being loved. Which is probably at the heart in most of those, right? So now let's review a list of common core beliefs and emotions. The belief of unworthiness, undeserving from poor self-worth, oftentimes when our self-worth has been attacked in our youth. Lacking emotional security, i.e. not feeling enough, inadequate, or incompetent. Feels powerless or like a victim. Controlled by fear, such as feeling overwhelmed or anxiety. Fear or suppressed emotions. Conditional love that's causing lack of self-acceptance. Rigid or conflicting beliefs. Neglected or abandoned. Emotionally disconnected or dissociation, as we often use that to anesthetize the pain, right? Blocked compassion or judgment. Chronic depression or worry. Perception of being unacknowledged, invalidated, or undervalued. If there's one or more that stand out, feel free to note it for yourself personally, or you can also share it in the chat box. You can also note if any of these events in the past led to any of these limiting or core subconscious beliefs, which will also result in our filtered perceptions. So if there is a sticky memory that keeps ruminating in your mind, it may have yet to be processed and healed, such as a past memory or feeling unloved, incompetent, or shamed. Our mind will often recall an event that caused one of these limiting beliefs, so pay notice, because we're going to be unpacking this and working through this throughout our workshop. And these parent-child patterns and beliefs are often unwittingly transferred to our primary relationships, such as with a spouse, because of our programming, or even with a close primary family member. So who do you experience this pattern with, these recurring patterns? It was more than likely an inherited belief from your mother, father, or another relative, which is an epigenetic trait. We will guide you to address these core limiting programs that you may have experienced that to help us all overcome, right, the I'm not good enough syndrome that you may feel is hindering you from what you desire with the 7-step panacea system, which is what it's designed to do. And this is why we have a 7-week workshop prepared for you.
And I just want to add that sometimes people can't relate to the not good enough or any of that shame. And remember, that is your lowest, deepest emotion. So there's sometimes a lot of things that are, that are blocking that. So we're trying to help release that and expose that. And it's really getting to the bottom of the shame. So if you can't resonate with that, either you've already done a lot of healing work or you haven't quite gotten to that level. And a lot of times you'll find it even on a generational level. So we want to get to the root of it, right?
Right.
So now that we have a better idea of the root issue on a core or genetic level, hopefully some of us have gained a little bit of a better idea, right? The remainder of the 7-week workshop will be dedicated to decoding and recoding these subconscious and inherited beliefs, as well as those that were not inherited, with holistic psychology, using genetic recoding techniques to heal and advance you to the next stage in your life successfully.
And genetic recoding is a standalone therapeutic process that starts at the root of our core issues and inherent dispositions to recode subconscious belief programs at that genetic and epigenetic level to help us clear distortions, self-defeating and sabotage behaviors, childhood trauma and conditioning, relationship patterns, financial, right, and generational healing as a chain breaker so that we can signal a positive change in the gene expression, which is just the DNA, and improve overall mindset to reach our higher levels of self-mastery, as well as further aiding your clients with genetically transferred dispositions and beliefs and helping them recode their core epigenetic patterns. So for many of you professionals that also offer additional modalities and therapies, genetic recoding utilizes a wide variety of therapeutic approaches that can also be used as an adjunct therapy to complement other healing modalities and programs that you may be providing with a multifaceted and holistic foundation. So it's an invaluable tool for professionals that equips them with broad methods of healing to provide a full holistic scope that will enable individuals, couples, families, and generations to overcome limiting beliefs, genetically transferred trauma, and psychological programming, thereby solving the problems on all aspects, all of those on a holistic level. Again, mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical. So where else can you find a program where you can get help addressing your own healing and programming while also earning an accredited diploma and receiving professional training to scale your income, open a lucrative and immediate turnkey practice that includes an entirely done-for-you business in a box for your practice? That includes the therapeutic worksheets, templates, workbooks, and practitioner manual and so forth to spare yourself years, as well as the trial and error that often comes with building your own practice as well as a proven system.
So for instance, this program made a significant impact and was invaluable for Christy, who is a substance abuse counselor and a busy single mother that joined Liberated Living because she wanted to overcome generational programming related to overwhelm and financial stress. Our program provided her not only with the guidance to produce ideal results in her own life and overcome her programming, but she also loved the ease of the ready-made therapy programs that she can now enjoy at her clinic with confidence for herself and her clients, removing the stress and the overwhelm that she previously suffered from. In her words, she stated that, as a single mother, I can't express the simplicity of this program and how it has relieved me from the burden and overwhelm of running a business and furnishing me with a business in a box for my clinic. I love the templates, the therapeutic workbooks, worksheets, and the PDFs that I use for my private and group sessions without the need to create any material or the requirement to be tech savvy, which has maximized my time with a step-by-step process for my clients. You can choose to work independently, remotely, online, or with a physical practice or a clinical space to increase your reach and income, therefore maximizing your revenue instead of trading your valuable time for dollars, right? So it gives you that flexibility.
And one thing I want to mention is that there's no need to feel intimidated because everything is all done for you. And so you don't have to worry about becoming qualified. Once you go through the program yourself, you're going to know how to help guide your clients through the same process. So Corey, who is a trainer and workshop facilitator, after working with us, this is also what he had to say. This program afforded me the remote work opportunities to travel the globe, whether to facilitate workshops or enjoy more time vacationing. Fun, right? What most of us want. So with the lucrative turnkey business in a box, I can now render group classes, workshops, and more to optimize my time and double my income with the additional global credentials I earned in this program to be qualified to work abroad. This was hands down the magic pair that I needed to accelerate my career and double my income. Thank you. So here are the additional benefits that you can get out of this program. We fully equip you as a professional with training and qualifying you by providing you with an international accredited diploma and a turnkey business in a box. We offer financing and multiple price packages. We help you heal and break patterns by recoding the belief system, generational programming, and behavioral patterns. It's perfect for new or seasoned entrepreneurs. It gives you the ability to work online, again, from home, remote, and or internationally, should that be what you want. It enables you to leave the corporate job and work independently on your own terms or with a team and a flexible schedule. It provides you with income opportunities, and you can choose to fast track the program in as little as 4 to 8 weeks or do the self-paced program. And it comes complete with a ready-made business in a box.
And we also offer a satisfaction guarantee, and you can work at your own pace, full or part-time, which is very helpful for single parents or as a side income. And although it's designed to be an 8-week program, you will still receive your own lifetime copy after completion of the program. These programs are beneficial for individuals, couples, families, professionals, or aspiring professionals and entrepreneurs. The programs are available with the option of written, audio, or video modules. We have customizable programs and packages, including one-on-one sessions and pay per session. We offer friend, family, and referral discounts. We offer holistic wellness programs that you'll have access to for yourself as a member. And we also have a help desk to answer your questions. However, we do have a few exclusions. We only work with people who are ready and willing to go deep and do the inner work, which is a requirement for practitioners, and who are coachable and respectful, accountable and self-aware, committed and motivated, who are team players, and who have the financial resources to get started. Although we do offer payment plans, so that is also available. So if that is you and you can see how this can also help you transform your life and achieve your personal and professional goals, then we're going to go ahead and provide you with the details for the Holistic Psychology certification, and then we could take some questions. So many of you have already signed up, and there may be a few of you who we can go over some of those details with you.
The regular cost of the practitioner diploma programs are valued at $44.97, just under $5,000, and currently reduced to a sale price between $29.97. So that is the sale price that you would pay if you went to our website. However, we are offering a special rate exclusive to those attending today's workshop only. Lucky you. And for those who want to join us for the full 7-week Holistic Psychology Certification Workshop and haven't signed up yet. So be sure to sign up for the next Holistic Psychology Certification Workshop, because there will be a replay available if you can't attend live. But we do offer guidance and a live Q&A for participants in our live workshops, and it will be interactive, and you are able to join us each week. Our professional attendees tend to love the therapeutic group element and look forward to what they can get out of it each week. And the payment installments are available with the monthly membership, where you can make monthly payments versus upfront payments if that works better for you. So if you want to sign up for that and haven't yet, I'll provide you with the link, and we'll go over the different ticket items and membership offers.
So these are the tickets available for the 7-week certification workshop at a marked down price for today's workshop as a one-time chance, and the payment installments available with the membership offer. So we have the practitioner workshop with the workbook included. That is for marked down from $14.97 down to $4.97, or just 2 monthly payments. Then we have the diploma with the business in a box that comes with the complete turnkey practice and the workbook included. So that's marked down from $19.97 down to $6.97, or monthly installments. Or we have the advanced practitioner workshop, and that includes the one-on-one sessions, as well as the group workshops, the turnkey practice, the workbook included. This one has everything. So that is marked down from $29.97 down to $9.97, or you can make monthly payments for that. So as you can see, that's $2,000 off, and also includes a free ebook or a therapeutic workbook when you sign up. So like we said, you wouldn't find this offer on our website or anywhere else. It is only offered to you here today. So I'll go ahead and paste that link in the chat box where you can register for the 7-week workshop and choose which ticket best fits your needs. And we do have the early bird registration that ends today. So some of you already took advantage of that, so good job. Today's the final date for that. So also, if you do prefer to complete the certification course without the 7-week workshop, where you can just go at your own pace, that is an option too. You can still receive one-on-one sessions while you complete the certification program. We have people who will do that. You can do that with or without the workshop. So the workshops are always optional, and you can, join in for the group workshops, or do some at your own pace, or just do the one-on-ones, or all of the above. So if you still don't know which program is best for you, we are still happy to offer you a complimentary consultation to help you determine which is the best fit. So I can provide that link again for you. If you have questions, you want to talk about it, or extenuating circumstances, or whatever you might need. So this is for the consultation, if anyone wants to go over any questions.
Yeah, that way we can outline your needs and your goals and what that may look like. And I just want to share that this is the lowest we have reduced our cost. And to be fully candid and transparent, it is because we have created a workshop dynamic to help save you a little bit financially, because the one-on-one sessions where we pay our therapists is generally where the cost can actually be a little bit more significant. So that's where we've been able to justify a huge reduction of cost. So we want to make this available for as many as we can and affordable for you. So included in your ticket offers is a therapeutic workbook available for personal or professional use with your clients that implements genetic recoding and can be used to follow along with in the workshop, even if you don't want the panacea system for your personal use and benefit without the diploma, even if you just want the panacea. So again, we can also provide a link for one of these workbooks, or the therapeutic 7-step panacea workbook for practitioners and for your professional practice, which also provides the genetic recoding strategies and the full panacea system, and this is included in the diploma and business in a box workshop. So for those who are actually going to be getting that program, you will receive this. For personal.
And this program will automatically connect you with a membership plan for payment installments. You can choose the one-time payment or the payment installment, and you'll also receive membership benefits. So this is just kind of what you'll see when you sign up. So just choose the plan that's best for you. Now, if there's also another option, we don't want to overwhelm you with too many options, but we do have a lot. If you just want the therapeutic workshops or just the one-on-one sessions without the diploma, that's an option as well. For people who just want the therapies for themselves, we have some really amazing prices for that you can get a lot out of this workshop. Or if you know anyone who if they're not interested in the diploma and they just need the therapies, that is an option. So I'll go over the prices for that. The cost for the 7-week therapeutic workshop is currently offered at only $197. So that's USD. So that's a great price for a 7-week therapy program plus your free ebook. And then we also have the therapeutic workshop with the workbook. That's just an additional $47. So $247 for that. And then if you just want the therapeutic workbook alone, that is $47, or the practitioner one for $67. And that's an interactive and digital workbook. And then if you just want the one-on-one sessions without the workshop or with the workshop, you can have both. And you just want to do the therapy sessions, that is offered at $800 or payment installments with 25% off at the workshop price. So at any time you have the option to upgrade, just not at these prices.
Yeah, we don't want to inundate you with these options. We just want you to know that there is more than one option depending on where you're at and help you to reach your goals. So let's go ahead and get you registered for the 7-week workshop, or you can book your free consultation if you have further questions that we can assist you with. If you're ready, let's get you signed up and answer any of the questions that you have for us.